I discovered my husband was stealing my pain medication after surgery, so I set a trap he can't talk his way out of. I knew something was wrong when the pain from my spinal fusion surgery became unbearable. 3 days after coming home from the hospital, the oxycodone that had been making recovery possible suddenly seemed ineffective, forcing me to white-knuckle through agony that had me in tears. Mark suggested I was building tolerance and should ask for something stronger. His overeager tone made me uneasy. We'd been married 7 years and I'd never had reason to distrust him until now. The first red flag was how he'd volunteered to pick up my prescriptions and manage my medication schedule. Mark, who couldn't remember our anniversary, had created a detailed spreadsheet of dosage times. The second flag was his sudden insistence on privacy when taking phone calls. One night after Mark fell asleep, I dragged myself to the bathroom where he kept my pills locked in a medicine safe to keep track of them properly. Aunt Judita's birthday is the code. I opened it to find my bottle of oxycodone half empty, despite being filled just 4 days ago. I examined the remaining pills. They looked right, but something felt off. I dropped one in water, watching as the white coating dissolved, revealing a small round tablet underneath. Laban had painstakingly coded regular acetaminophen to look like my prescription pain medication. The betrayal hit harder than the pain. While I suffered through recovery from major surgery, my husband was stealing my medication and leaving me with disguised over-the-counter pills. I didn't confront him immediately. Mark was charming, quick with excuses, and I was in no condition for a gaslighting battle. Instead, I formed a plan. First, I called my doctor's office and spoke with a nurse about concerns regarding medication security. She arranged for a small prescription to be sent to a different pharmacy. Next, I called my sister Claire, who came over while Mark was at work. Together, we set up a tiny camera in the bathroom medicine cabinet, angled toward the safe. I replaced half the remaining fake pills with real ones for my new prescription to ensure I could function. Then we waited that evening. Mark insisted on organizing my medication for tomorrow after dinner. The notification from the camera came 20 minutes later. The footage was undeniable. Mark opened the safe, poured my pills into his palm, examined each one carefully. He pocketed several real pills, then replaced them with the fakes from a separate container he kept hidden behind the extra toilet paper. The entire process took less than 3 minutes. Practiced inefficient. I waited until morning. After he gave me my medication, I placed the tablet on the bedside table instead of taking it. When he asked what was wrong, I turned my phone toward him, showing a paused image from the footage. His face cycled through confusion, shock, then anger, accusing me of spying on him. I responded that he was stealing medication I needed for excruciating pain while watching me suffer. I told him the police were on their way and that tampering with prescription medication was a felony. He had 15 minutes to pack essentials and leave or explain himself to the officers. He chose to leave, begging me not to press charges, swearing he had a problem but would get help. I changed the locks that afternoon. The divorce was finalized 3 months later. Mark's tearful explanation to the judge about his temporary lapse in judgment due to addiction issues might have worked, except the detective found text messages where he'd bragged about selling pharma-grade oxy to friends. I still have a titanium rod in my spine and occasional pain on rainy days, but nothing hurts quite like the memory of the man who was supposed to care for me in sickness and in health, watching me suffer while counting his profits. Some betrayals cut deeper than any scalpel could reach.